Alright, what's up guys? As we all probably know, HYTALE is officially back. And they posted this 16-minute video of a bunch of new footage from various parts of the world. And what I want to do today is like analyze it deeply, but in more of a freestyle fashion like this. I'm watching the video with you live. And this is not my first time watching it, but still I will be kind of improvising all this. First things first, the UI has completely changed. Here we see a health bar. I mean, the heart symbol does look kind of basic, but I think that's okay. I mean, for the first release, like pre-alpha or whatever they want to call it, it's allowed to not be polished, obviously. Then we have the HYTALE logo. Obviously, this is not a part of the UI, but it does look a bit different. I don't know, the Y feels kind of weird. Also, what's important to note here, we have three like key symbols. Attacking is left click, blocking or putting a shield up is right click, and Q is the special move, which we can see here is like charging up as the player is hitting the skeleton. And also you can shield bash, which is nice. There is an energy meter, which is draining as you... Why did it drain? Hang on. It drained from... Okay, so shield bashing is an option, but a costly one. Because hitting the sword doesn't like drain it at all. And as we will see in the future, sprinting and... also drains it. I didn't see from jumping that it was drained, but for now the player is just running, holding a hatchet. And yeah, here we see chopping trees down. Trees do insta break, which is pretty nice, but I have one complaint, which you'll see when we get a closer look at chopping down trees, or rather an inquiry more than a complaint, because we are not 100% certain how it works. Then we see bow combat, where basically you hit the bow, well, kind of like a sword, just a bunch of light attacks, and if you deal enough damage, the special will charge. And for the bow, the special is firing 3 arrows at once. Now we'll see. Does that consume 3 arrows? Hang on, 98. It looks like it does not consume arrows at all, which is kind of weird, especially if you can pick them up later, but I would say no, maybe they're just like magic or something and they disappear afterwards. And then cutting the trees down, you have to cut every single log of one layer and the rest of the tree upwards, just no animation for trees falling down like RL Craft, for example. Oh, hang on. But that also could be added later. This is just minimum version. Look at this. It appears, did a bush generate underneath the tree, cutting it off from the ground? Yeah, I did not notice that until just now. Also, are there yeah, there are branches in the trees. They're not all full blocks. Now we can see here a great axe or halberd of some sort is being used. And did you catch that? Hang on. Just skip a bit. There are question marks and an exclamation mark when the player is noticed. So stealth could be an option. We're not sure, but it looks like it is. Also, the ears are like from an elf or something, which is from a customization. Which is a customization option we have seen. Now he's just shooting. We see the special move of the axe is to spin around, or whatever the weapon is called. And also iron hand crossbow, you'll see. So there are different tiers of ranged weapons too. And this little icon shows how many bullets, or bolts that is, are loaded into the crossbow at once, which is a nice way of showing instead of just like a number, like 2 out of 6 or whatever. Yeah, not much to say here. Oh, there's also a jump with the axe. Now, I don't know exactly how you do all of these moves, well, I don't think anyone's for certain except the developers, but I don't see like an ultimate or something. The special ability appears to be not that hard to achieve, but also not that powerful, so it's balanced. Breaking pots by hitting them, that's nice. And yeah, you can sit in chairs. This looks beautiful. And we see the contrast between non-snowy trees and snowy trees there. And I mean, I don't think I need to comment on how beautiful it is. We'll see plenty more of sites like these in the as the video goes on. Here we see a mace. Ability is to jump and do like a ground pound or whatever. And a battle axe. Also, skeletons can block, or rather enemies in general, which is pretty nice. They aren't just one-dimensional machines that swing the sword repeatedly. And we see a skeleton mage here. Now I don't know if they can cast various spells or whatever, or if they just shoot out bolts, but again, it's fine for now. Also, pile of bones picked up from a skeleton, so they do have jobs. Okay, hang on. There's a lot here to cover. Oh, stop. Right. We see a lot of things here. Now, inventory, I don't really care. Most of these things are self-explanatory, although stack sizes vary. So 50 is stack size for logs, 250 is the stack size for what looks like sticks. There's seeds, various fruits, mushrooms, but that's not important for now. Here, on the other hand, we see our boy Simon with his armor, but instead of it being helmet, chestplate, leggings, boots, it's helmet, chestplate, leggings and boots are one, and then gauntlets. Here we see crafting, what appears to be crafting menu, and we have pocket crafting here. Recipes you can search. And also it appears, instead of showing like in Minecraft when you see the green book, the recipes, when you click on campfire for example, and it shows you like various variations of like what wood types you put in, it just says any rubble, so any type of stone will do. I'm not sure what this icon is, probably a backpack of some sort, but it looks like our Simon does not have a backpack here. And here is some kind of potion or something, and the shield or the offhand slot is down here. Here we see health, total and current, regeneration if any is active, and this really interests me because it looks like mana symbols and mana regen, but it's not shown here. Also, there is a map which we will see later, and you can craft 1, 10 or maximum amount of what you have. Pretty standard. It's not like shape crafting as in Minecraft where you have to lay it out, like, you know, pickaxe is 3 across and 2 sticks. You just put them in, get them out. Simple. Doesn't have to be complicated. You have take half, take one, transfer, but that's not the interesting part here. Also auto sort, but oh, hang on. Wait for it. There are rarities. So an apple is common, which, I mean, I think we saw way earlier, but you can't trust anything you saw earlier because HYTALE is basically a completely different game now. And now we'll see when you eat an apple, the bar is filling up. It looks like there is no hunger, only health. But from what I saw, health either does not regenerate naturally, or it takes a very long time. And then you're shown a health icon. This looks to be temporary. I don't believe just a simple red cross will be in the final version. And yeah, you are healing as it ticks down. You have alerted some enemies. They let out a sound. There is a skeleton archer, so there are there we can see soldier, or like fighter, shooter and mage. He spends some time fighting them. I'm not sure if this is a clip that lasts long. Oh no, that must have been another one. However, here we see something very important. Old Scarracks are back. Personally, you could have a different opinion, but I never liked the new redesign. They look like aliens. They don't look like bugs at all. These ones are just way more creepier and feel more like a part of the Hytale world. I don't know how to explain it. Almost like the new ones are too colorful, maybe. Like they belong in Fortnite or something. I heard some people compare it to. Also here we see errors and warnings in the code, but that probably won't be available for us. Also the crosshair, as you can see, changes whether you are holding a shield or not. Right now, he's fighting with a sword, but no icons are shown here, so maybe you can customize what you see, because now there are inventory and map hotkeys shown. And the sword does glow blue when the special attack is charged, which in case of the sword is a small spin followed by a dash forward. Right, the lighting effects do look really, really nice. And the lighting on the antennas, or antennae, or whatever it's called in English, of the Scarix do look nice, and it's a good way to spot them through the dark caves or their nests, which we'll be exploring. And I can just, yeah, we can see different variations of them here, like some babies or smaller ones, and the standard adult ones. But there are more than these two variations. But I can just imagine going through their nests, and like it's very dark and you just see two blue sources of light charging straight toward you. Oh, hold up. Stop. Here what looks like two skeletons are carrying torches and doing their own expedition thing, regardless of the player, which is incredibly cool, as it shows probably some mobs have their own advanced behavior. But that's not important now, because what I want to focus on now is this biome, and it looks sick. It looks like either an old withered forest or maybe a burned one, filled with these weird blue particles, which could be, I don't know, magic or spores maybe. And I just saw this for the first time. What the hell is that? It looks like a mutated Quebec or something, which I feel like this is the Pale Garden from Minecraft, but done well, so it's actually scary. But thankfully we are leaving this biome and going into a snowy type that looks a lot like Silent Hill, because the amount of fog here, look, this is like 20 blocks ahead of you, you can't even see it. Then we see this guy, or looks pretty strong, and the player pops down what looks like a totem that gives him a healing effect whenever he's near it. And you can see that when he pops it down, there's a cooldown, so you can just spam a bunch of them. You have to wait a bit. Oh, he's fighting, or he's shooting at something, I think it's called a void eye. He is not very accurate. And all of these like green-eyed things are void creatures, they're called. And the void eye appears to be summoning a bunch of little guys to fight for it. Which, again, it's very nice to see unique enemies, not just meatbags who punch you and you punch them, but who have mechanically different things. I mean, there's obviously shooting skeletons, fighting skeletons, whatever, but things like this, like flying summoners and the little babies. So, for example, when you're in a party playing with friends, one of you who has a hammer or mace or something could focus on the small ones and deal splash damage or area damage to them by like spinning and shit, while another with a powerful bow could focus on the summoner, taking it out. And it will be really interesting to see what types of combinations you can make with more players and more gear, especially if magic is included in the early versions, as we have seen by what looks to be the mana symbol. Alright, now we are exploring some icy caves, and we see like and we see like ruined structures underground containing potions and stuff. What interests me is what's back here. Looks like some type of ore, but it does not look like it belongs in icy caves. Looks more like sandstone or something. Also here we see iron, or I think it's iron, and it's like shiny, so you can spot it better, and gold up here and in some other places, which is very nice. Some type of blue bats, it looks like. They don't appear to be hostile. And the water graphics and everything just look really cool. Again, this looks like the void eye we saw earlier. We're just walking. Oh, I think we'll see here the tree mechanic thing I said earlier. Okay, it looks like a part of the tree fell off when you chopped a bit of it. Maybe like loose branches and stuff. Okay, crafting. Oh yeah, the offhand has like 4 things you can put in it. It looks like when you press Z on your keyboard, you can swap out quickly, so you can have a shield, a torch, some food, and maybe potions or something in it. However, when the tree is cut down, I think this is the clip. Yeah, the whole tree falls down. But look at how much stump is remaining. And we will see. Yeah, now we'll see. When he cuts down the tree, you can see there's more like logs in the floor. It's not just sticking out of the ground, it's actually in the ground, which is kind of cool. Also, the tree is called ash log. I don't know what that is. And it does make sense because trees do have roots and stuff. However, I wonder how annoying it will be to clear out if you're, for example, in a forest clearing out space for your base. And this thing shows up. It does not look native to this biome, which is covered in green. We'll see here a blue glowy kind of biome, which it looks at home in. Oh, some more void creatures were alerted. Yeah, I mean those glowing purple mushrooms and stuff. And here we see a desert, which is a really jarring transition of biomes. Maybe this is like an exception. Oh yeah, and those bones do look really cool in the desert. Maybe this is an exception, but I hope the biomes like change more gradually, so it's not swamp, blue, foresting, desert, all in like 10 seconds of walking. There's a bunch more things probably here to analyze. Yeah, like camp, there's what appears to be a mine back there, a castle of some sort, but that's just naming things, and that's just naming structures which we basically know exist. Although these desert structures, I forget what they're called, like that are formed by the wind, do look really nice. We can see a desert variation of the skeletons, one carrying a 2-handed spear, it looks like. So it's also cool that different biomes use different weapons. This shot is also very nice. And yeah, see, desert here, blue biome there, and swamp there. So that's a bit too jarring, I'd say. But to each their own. This biome, or sub-biome of the desert, looks very cool in my opinion, with all the bones and the red glowing things. And now we see a map, which, I mean, a standard map. I don't think you can see players, you can zoom in, place markers, all that, which pretty cool. It looks like it updates as you travel, although in the map it was day, and it was like either sunrise or sunset in the clip. It would be cool if the map updates depending on what time of day it is, but that's a minor thing. Alright, we're back in some sort of either swamp or wasteland or something. with the music swelling. I don't know what we're doing here. Just exploring, I guess. Oh, they showed the map again. This looks like, yeah, I thought this was an island at first, but it looks like this was just not explored. This looks like a completely different zone, unlike anything we have seen before. Maybe zone 4, but I don't know if they still have zones in mind. But yeah, it does not look like any biome we have seen before. Fighting with a random skeleton explorer and jumping on top of a ruined house. It's nice to see like mini structures around, not necessarily huge mushrooms, but as I was saying, it's nice to see like mini structures around, not like a city around every corner, but a little hut or tower or something to just give life to this world. And loot potentially. But yeah, I mean, nothing much is happening here. It's just showing a very unique environment. Oh, it's showing commands. And yeah, it looks, look at this again. It looks so much different at night and when it's day. I mean, obviously, yeah, but the lights just add a lot to it. And then rain starts to fall and it looks completely different again. Now it looks like cold and partially snowy, even though it's the same place, just what's happening in the sky is different. And this just looks amazing. Oh, now it looks like the player is in zone 4, if you remember. Zone 4 is like burned up, filled with volcanoes on the surface, but underneath it's like a vast jungle of, again, weird plants and such, with sloth creatures in it, which this looks like their architecture. Yeah, it definitely is. And again, just looks awesome with the glowing trees and everything. And the pink and the blue ceiling really do contrast well. Now, I think the reason it looks like the trees are growing is because of the crystals. Now, I don't know if the crystals are a part of the trees or just growing on them. Maybe these are like some weird combination between ores and trees. That's all to be discovered when the game actually drops. Here we see a small camp, like for practice, I guess. We have targets for shooting and dummies for fighting. And in contrast, this is the surface of Zone 4 with these burned up skeletons and such. And a lava hound, or I don't know what it's called. Oh, and this, yeah, archer, fighter, I don't know what this is, maybe like a peasant or something. This lava hound does not appear to be doing anything. Oh, now it's running. Yeah, it's angry. However, it does not appear that it gave any drops. This is just the grass the player broke when he was swinging the sword. Except maybe the 2 wild bushmeat or whatever it's called, which does not sound appropriate for a lava hound, but maybe that's just temporary. Oh, now this isn't a skeleton. We see this is a zombie. I mean, not much to say, just a random guy. And he's gone. And another skeleton / mummy here. And the music is really picking up. I don't know if you would still be able to hear me. I will fix that in post if that's an issue. Also, yeah, what I wanted to say is even though the daggers look very cool as a weapon. Oh, here we see building. Hang on. We'll we'll come back to that. Even though the daggers do look very cool as a weapon, I think the highest skill would definitely be like the mace or something, which is slow, where you have to actually time your attacks and blocks, where the daggers you can just spam. But if in the unlikely event that Hytale will ever create like professional tournaments and such, it would be cool to see various players specialize in various types of weapons. Right here. This is the creative mode, it looks like. So yeah, all the blocks, like regular, valuable, plants, liquids, maybe colorful blocks, or decorations. Here we see what looks like furniture, gear, and creative tools of some kind. Which, not these creative tools, probably, but just like brushes or something. This is content creation tools, which is very good for me, but obviously it's modeled more towards people who build mods and worlds and such, not who make brain rot videos like me. But if this is as expensive as I think it is, it's very nice to have. This is one of the main things why I'm so passionate about Hytale. We saw him spawn an NPC, the fox creature, and oh, my favorite Trorks are here, and I think this is almost it. Yeah, 45 seconds. He can change the speed. However, it looks like he flew past a Quebec encampment without burning it. What can we see here? Not much, except this looks like a skeleton. It's not a Quebec. Lighting a candle or a torch when it's in darkness. So that's nice. This is obviously, I hope so, a modded item to show what mods can do. If we have guns in Hytale, it should have stayed deleted, bro. It should not have been revived. But yeah, that's just an example of what you can do with mods. And now we'll see. Oh yeah, the different rarities of items have different colors. It looks pretty standard. Like common are gray, uncommon or rare are green, very rare are blue, and the gun was red, so maybe that's either modded or mythic or something. And we see this very cool animation of creating a portal where when the player steps through, the video is over. So yeah, that's basically it. Those are just my surface thoughts without any prep writing, what I just noticed watching through. There's probably many things I missed, but that will be it for this analysis. I am too lazy to make a scripted video right now, so this is what you get. Bye bye.